Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of A Midwest Conversation. My guest this episode is Tiernen Rice. Tiernen graduated one class ahead of me at the same video production school. Tiernen is now the CEO and owner of a media production company called Moonlight Creatives. This episode was recorded on August 3rd, 2020, and in it we talk about the photo and video industry, Tiernen's battle with self-identity, and their past experience with the drag queen community. If you're watching on YouTube and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe, and also follow and listen to A Midwest Conversation on your favorite audio platforms. If you are listening and you want to see the video version of this episode, head on over to A Midwest Conversation on YouTube. Thanks for watching and listening, and I'll catch you next time. Here's my conversation with Tiernen Rice. You like that?
That's good.
You like that?
I like that.
Tiernen Rice. How's it going, buddy?
Dude,
how you doing, man? How you been? It's been a while.
I mean, despite the state of the world, I'm doing good.
You are?
Yeah.
Good.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm trying to do my best and get my own shit together because the state of the world, like you mentioned, is very fucked up. That's what I wanted to kind of, if you don't mind, start with. I know that you have your Moonlight situation going on, and I wanted to know how that works.
Okay.
With this, coronavirus type shit going on, because I know my store had to close.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so it's kind of fortunate and unfortunate at the same time how, so I was working at a different company.
Okay.
Which is a whole other story.
I have it bookmarked.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to it.
So I ended up quitting.
Okay.
That company, and I was like, well, I have enough knowledge, I have enough credit, I have enough everything to kind of get on my feet doing this. This is February of this year.
Oh,
and
this
so
is recent.
I was like, I'm gonna take out a loan, I'm gonna buy a bunch of gear.
That's kind of what I'm in the process of doing.
I was like, I'm gonna hit the ground running and just go. So my gear comes in.
Excellent.
I shoot that music video that I shot with Tyler and Ben, and I'm like, this is pretty good.
I watched that twice this morning.
Thank you. And then, I was doing a little bit of photography here and there. And then Mike DeWine shuts down the state.
Yeah. He said, actually, no one can go outside and do anything.
Right. And so everybody's freezing our marketing budget because they obviously need to pay into unemployment to supplement their workers.
Yeah.
So therefore, because I do corporate video.
Oh, okay. Well, that's where the money is. Corporate, weddings. Yeah, that's where the money is.
So nobody's doing that. And so I'm like, well, I just took out a lot of money. I had to make these payments, and I don't have any money coming in.
Sure.
So I was like, well, shit. And but fortunately, there was the contractor unemployment.
That's what I was kind of worried about when I went, because I'm a big political nerd, right?
Right.
So obviously, if you listened at all before, you would know that. So I was looking into how it's going to work, and I was like, dude, that's going to be fucked for people in this industry, because a lot of them are gig workers and contract workers, and the way it started was if you don't have I don't want to say a real employer because you're self-employed, but if you didn't have a quote-unquote real employer,
you're not getting a W-2.
yeah, right. If you're not getting a W-2, if you have to do all your 1099, right? If you had to do all that, you don't get any sort of compensation extra. Did you get it at all, or did you get none? No, extra?
I got back pay.
Okay,
which was cool. So what they did is they gave you basically regular unemployment benefits. So they took last year's
dog shit.
Yeah, they took last year's 1099, basically what you made last year, cut that in half, pay you that on a weekly basis, plus $600.
Yeah, that's the same as I had it too.
Right.
Okay.
So fortunately, I had to wait until July to get back pay. So I was like, rent's due, all the stuff's due.
Holy
and I'm like,
fuck.
I don't know what to do at this point. And then it just all hit my bank account at one point. And I was like, whew.
There you go, out of it. Yeah, and it hit right as rent moratoriums were expiring and everything else.
Bad. I was like, what am I gonna do? I could start driving Lyft, I guess, but that's not gonna
DoorDash. Yeah.
So fortunately that came in clutch. I'm not actually set up as an LLC yet because I was in the process of doing that when all this happened.
Well, having been involved with Derek and Frank in the LLC, I understand. It takes a while. It's expensive,
right?
And the fucking bureaucracy paperwork you have to go through. You have to find a bank and everything else. Yeah, you have to do the
whole thing.
Yeah.
So, fortunately, right now I'm still operating as a sole proprietor. So I'm just I'll just do this for this year. See what happens in the spring.
Yeah.
Do that because I really didn't want to get fucked come tax time, because that's how the last company I was working at, they were we're not paying the IRS because we're paying our contractors first. That's when it came.
Yikes.
Because they were if they're not going to take care of, they're telling us we can't work, if they're not going to compensate us for that, like we're not going to pay our taxes, because that's why we pay taxes, and we need to pay our contractors that we've been hiring. So we'd rather just get in trouble and, you know, feed people who actually need money right now than do that. So I'm like, so that sucked, and I was like, well, shit. But I just took that opportunity to, like, you know, work on some internal stuff, build a portfolio, make my website, get a social media presence.
Website looks really good. Did you, like,
It's
Squarespace? That's
yeah.
what it kind of felt like, because I've seen Squarespace sites before, but I was looking through it, and I'm not, if you don't want to, it's fine. I'm not going to say the name of the other company. Did you help start it?
Yeah, I did. I'd rather keep their name out.
Okay, yeah, then we won't talk about their actual name, but you helped start it, right? That's what I understand.
So I, like, designed the logo and, like, pushed into a lot of things, designed business. I was basically the graphic designer and, like, color corrector, Steadicam operator.
Yeah, because I remember you were doing it when we were still in school, right? Or started to do it when we were still in school?
Let's see. I was working at, like, a small production house my senior year.
Okay, maybe that, because I remember you bitching to our teacher about getting paid like dog shit.
Yeah, 100%.
And all the work you were doing for them, and you were like, they're not paying me fucking anything.
Yeah.
And I'm working 80 hours behind a computer all day, getting migraines and shit.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, it was like literally like in a dinky warehouse. There was like mold growing out of the. There's like literal mushrooms, like full-on mushrooms.
Did you eat
one?
Never mind.
I contemplated it. But
at one point, you're like, you know what?
Maybe the pay wasn't that bad. I was just hallucinating and whatnot. No, that was bad. But, you know, kid in high school, people take advantage all the time. So,
totally understand that.
Aside, like, towards the end of there, I started with the other company and, like, kind of got them off the ground, you know, marketing wise and whatnot, and building social media presence there. So
when you separated from them, was it just sort of like a life happens kind of thing, no bad blood, or did he try and, like, take your grandma on a date and you were like, I'm not feeling that?
Well, it wasn't the latter.
Well, that's good.
What happened was, so I had been making, and I'm going to get into salary here. So I had been making, when I first started there, they gave me the same amount that I was making at the other company, which was roughly about like $300 a week, which ain't shit. It's like $15 a year,
that's
I think.
Nothing, yeah.
So
that's like less than minimum wage, I think.
But I was doing better work, and I was in a better work environment, like being able to be creative. So like, the first job was like appliance repair videos and shit. Nice. I was like, I hate this. This is not what I want to do. But
Derek ran into that problem. He worked for a car dealership, and he ran like their social media stuff, and he ran their Facebook page and Instagram account, and he wanted to make like more like artistic style, like photos and edits of the cars, video wise, talking to people buying cars. And the company was like, they wanted it to be run more like a factory, in the sense that like when a car comes in, take a photo, put it up, and that's all we want you to do. And Derek was like, well, this kind of sucks.
I mean, honestly, yeah. That's how it is when you got a system. It's like the telemarketer thing. You just say the lines and that's it. Don't get all.
Yeah, exactly.
So and then a year after that, they're like, we're giving you a raise, and I was all like, ooh. So I'm sitting here thinking,
hell yeah,
I'm gonna be like making like double the money.
I love raises.
$600 a week, like $30K a year, which still isn't much for like this industry. But
no, it's not much for this industry. But for what were you like 18, 19 at the time?
Yeah, I was like 19 or 20 maybe.
Shit.
So I was all like, that's not bad at all. You know, I'm a single dad. Like, I'm out here. Like, so let's do it. $400.
Yeah,
they made a big deal of it. They're like, you don't seem that excited. I was like, this isn't that much more.
Yeah, you're like, man, that's what kind of.
So it bumped me from $15K to $20K a year, and I was
nice.
Like,
you're right above the poverty line,
and that's where I stayed.
Excellent.
That's where I stayed.
Oh, really? How long did you work for them? Like
until
this past February?
Yeah, just February. I was like,
fuck out of town.
So what happened was, I went in there, literally made a PowerPoint. Like, I was all like, I'll list it out, all, like, everything. I was like, where I started to where I am now, all the things I provide, all of this stuff. Went in there, laid it all out, and I was like, I do all of this stuff that you have no idea how to do. Because I was, like, I was the only animator. I was the only one who knew how to do 3D, how to do 2D, the only one who really knew After Effects.
Wow.
Just basically anything that made it, like, really, really cool, I was doing. And laid it all out, and they're like, all right, we'll look at it. And I compared my salary to the median salary of like all of those things that I do, which like I think averaged out to like 50 or 60 grand a year. And I was like, so I'm making like a third of that. So like I'm asking for like 37, I think is what I asked for, which is still less, but I was like, I'll be able to live.
Yeah, exactly.
I was still living at home, and I was
sure.
like, I gotta move out. Like, damn, I got places to go.
Yeah,
I can't pay the bills with this.
No.
So they're like, all right, we'll look it over. We'll get back to you. And then a couple days go by. I go back. They made a PowerPoint in response, basically saying that I do less work than the rest of them, like hourly technically. And I was like, and they just said no. Like there was no like there was no
negotiations.
I figured there would be like some negotiations.
Sure.
I'll settle for like 34 or something.
Right.
Like,
aim high, and if it goes a little bit lower than you expected, that's fine.
But they were just like no, and I was like, I walked out, and I took like 5 hours to think, and I sent an email. I was like, I quit.
Couldn't go back in.
No,
I wouldn't have even, to be honest. Honestly, good for you for actually taking that 5 hours to sit and wait, because if that would have been me, I'd have just left. I'd have been like, all right, later.
I was livid.
Oh, I'd have been pissed.
Like, I could feel my face like red.
Beat
red.
I was like,
I was sitting there.
Oh my
and it was
God.
just silent after they finished presenting.
Dude, I'd have been so
mad. They were like,
mad.
do you have anything to say? And I was like, no. And then I was like, I'm gonna get going. And then I left. And then I thought about it, and I was like, I gotta quit. There's no way. I would rather be broke than continue to work here where they are profiting. Like they were both making $50K a year. Co-owners. Sure. So they're profiting off of the money that I'm bringing in, because I knew the numbers.
Yeah.
I knew the quotes. I was quoting stuff out.
Yeah.
So I broke it down. I made them $40K that year, the previous year, and I got half of that.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So then in February you separate, and then you start Moonlight, and is it just you, or do you have helpers?
So technically speaking, it's just me.
Okay.
But I have a good friend of mine from high school I've been friends with for like, I don't know, 10 or 12 years now.
Excellent.
He went to Full Sail for audio production. So he does everything from like Foley to like...
Was that the...
Solaric Sounds.
Yeah, at the bottom of the music video. See, I told you I watched it,
yeah,
motherfucker.
Yeah, he mastered that.
Because I was watching the video, and I was watching the video, and... Oh, fuck, hopefully it doesn't start playing. Okay, good. I was watching the video, and... I watched it twice, once to look at the cinematography of it and look at Tyler's beautiful face.
Of course.
And then I watched it again because I was like, I don't see any present microphones. And, I mean, clearly they could dub it. That's fine. I mean, that's how music videos work. I've worked on a few of them. But it's like, this is really fucking good. And I was very curious about who was doing the audio, and then I saw at the bottom of the thing, and I was like, I wonder if he like paid somebody. They got studio time.
He's my buddy. He's kind of in the same boat as me. So he just quit his job. He was working in a factory. He quit his job to pursue audio production full time. Because if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it.
Sure.
So he and I I'll edit photos for him. We work for each other for free right now because neither of us are making enough money to pay each other.
Yeah,
so
and if you have that mutual understanding.
Right.
Then...
We're both just trying to helping each other get bigger so that we can do that. And then graphic design-wise, who designed my logo is my buddy Ben. You might have remembered him from my birthday party.
Yeah, he was in the music video with Tyler, right?
Yeah. So
okay.
he moved to Florida a few years back on a whim. Like, he was going to BGSU for, like, engineering. And then
I've met him once, and he did not strike me as an engineer.
No, he's very smart mathematically, but I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Sure.
So
maybe he had some outside influence from parents or grandparents saying something like, hey, go to college, get a degree, get a good job, be an engineer, make a lot of money. And then he tried it and was like, this is
the worst.
Terrible. I mean, if you're built for that and that's what you want to do, cool, fine.
Right.
But if it's not what you want to do, don't fucking do it.
He went to Florida, started working at a sign company because his sibling, who's non-binary, so they use they, them pronouns, but worked at a like nationally recognized sign designer. Like, I didn't know this.
Like signs, like building signs?
Yeah, like billboard signs.
Okay.
Like everything from like, bathroom signs inside of a building to like giant
billboards on the side of the road.
Logo, like all of it.
All right.
He starts working there. He works there for like 2 years, moves his way up, making like $17 an hour or something as like an entry level, like his first job. I was like, damn.
Need to move to Florida.
Now right now. Back up here, and I was like, dude, your stuff is so good. Like, you need to be doing this. Like, because he's just a vinyl app. Like, he works at Toledo Sign, like applying the vinyl to stuff. Like, he doesn't even design there.
Sure.
And I'm like, dude, you are too good to be like doing this. So he does all of my graphical stuff. He did my logo. He's currently working on my business cards. He's so damn good at it.
Designing
just designing shit. Graphical design of like any kind. He's
got that natural inclination for it.
He just whips stuff up.
That's really freaking cool, man. I mean, it's nice when you can know people. That was how Frank, Derek, and I did it for so long. Is we knew each other. We were in the same school, and we all had. All right, can you not? I'm trying to fucking do something here with my life. All right, I'm trying to make the most of COVID.
I'm breaking the
assholes. God, somebody's dying outside.
Inconvenient.
Just god dang inconvenient. All right, so Moonlight Creatives, they do Tiernen and his pals. Anything you need, really. I mean, photography, video, fucking weddings? No weddings. Good for you. Good for you, bro. Oh my god, I cannot tell you. Oh, I've done.
Dude, it's tempting. You can make bank on
the money is tempting,
but you don't want to get stuck,
dude.
Because that was something like when I was working at the other company, I was like talking to like CEO, like one of our clients was Welltower, which is a worldwide company. Right?
Sure.
And so I was sitting there talking to the CEO, and he was like, "Yeah, I've had other video people, but they're like wedding people." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to be a wedding person."
Yeah, I don't. Jesus. Well, I mean, to be fair, I've seen some wedding videographers, and I've seen some of their reels. Some of them are really,
by
really
no means
good.
Are they like any worse than me or anything?
Some of them are.
It's the stigma about it. Like, they are fantastic filmmakers.
Yeah, they're good at their craft.
Good.
They know what they're doing.
But like a CEO's like, oh, they did my wedding, so I don't want them to. They can't handle this stuff. It's it's a dumb stigma, but it's a thing.
It happens. Yeah. It definitely happens. I feel like I've done 3.5. I second shot 1.
Yeah.
So it's the half. I've done 3 weddings. 2 were video. And then the other 2 I photographed, and then I was the second shooter on another one. And the money I made was wonderful. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But the amount of time and effort and people...
Those days are hard.
Dealing with the people, and everybody's got an uncle with an iPhone that wants to get in your fucking way. It's like, dude, I get it. Your niece or nephew or whoever, your daughter, whatever, is getting married. It's a big moment, but she's paying me a lot of money to stand here and do what you're doing. They're about to kiss, sir. Can you please sit down? I'm in the way. You ever have any? Oh, you've never done a wedding. Have you done weddings before?
I've done weddings.
Okay.
But,
you ever get a mean priest?
No.
No? Yo!
I did like 2 weddings.
I did a wedding one time in a rural area of Ohio, okay? Oh. That's all I'm going to say, because the people they're wonderful people. But the priest the priest who was doing the wedding, like, stopped the ceremony, like, for a brief moment to tell me and the other photographer to back away from the altar. Like, oh my God. It was rough, dude. I had to switch lenses and shit. I missed, like, majority of the vows because I'm sitting there trying to flip on a 70 to 200 because I had like an 85 and I'm up close and shit, and he's like, do you, and he looks over and I look up and I look over at my other guy.
Why is he looking at me?
Yeah, and he goes, can you please back away from the altar? I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, that was I literally had I did have a situation like that. Like it was a photography thing, and the last thing that I shot, like second shooter for a buddy.
Sure.
The priest didn't tell me, but he told me because he was like he's used to go to the church, but he's like a drag queen, so he doesn't anymore.
Okay,
for obvious reasons.
Sure, yeah. The priest finds out you work at Hamburger Mary's on a Saturday. He's probably gonna get a little mad.
So I had like the 24 to 70 on, and I'm like, getting wides, moving in, getting close up. So and so he comes up to me, he's like, first of all, you gotta turn your shutter on to quiet shutter.
That's why I bought a mirrorless camera.
And I was like, oh my God. And he's like, and don't move up past this area because he'll call you out. And I was like, what?
Yeah, dude, some of them are serious, man.
So like same thing as you. I'm like, the only thing I have that's longer than this is just a straight 200.
Sure.
2.8.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I guess I'm moving around a lot.
Right.
So I just slapped that on and just like stood at the back.
Thankfully, I have resources where I can rent lenses.
Right.
Because I rented a 70 to 200. This was before I switched from Nikon to Fuji. So I had a 70 to 200 I could use, thankfully. Because if I didn't, I'd have had like a 50, 85, and like the kit lens.
Yeah.
And he was like, you can't stand this close. And I was like,
what do I do?
Well, then they're not getting their wedding shot. I don't know what to tell you.
You're going to pay them?
Yeah. I was like, and oh my God, the other wedding I did was a video wedding. With Frank and Derek. And we did video for this wedding.
Was this back when you guys had
Slick shot? Yes. Yeah. This was one of like our first clients, so we were hyped that we actually got a real job.
Landed it.
Yeah, we were like, fuck yeah. We like met with them at a coffee shop, like did the whole thing. But the church that they had us go to, okay, it was a like mid-July, I think, wedding, right? And the church was like an old Methodist, I think, like big stone cathedral looking church in the middle of July. This church was built in like the 1800s. You know where I'm going.
toasty.
Oh, yeah, dude. They had all the windows open. The ceiling fans in the 20-foot ceilings were whipping. It didn't do shit, bro. We were in all black because that's what you do.
Right.
And
Get your show blacks on.
yeah. Oh my good Christ! It was so hot in there, dude. It was like a big ass pizza oven because it was all stone. The whole thing was stone. The guests in the I'm seeing Aunt Margaret and shit doing this, like fanning herself.
About to pass out.
Priest was sweating. I was sweating. This was back when Frank had his hair, so he was sweating. God, it was so sweaty. And then somebody, as they were walking down the steps when you blow the bubbles or whatever, one of the bridesmaids got too hot and, passed out and fell down the cement stairs. And we were like, oh, shit. We were like, oh, no. That was also before. This is a segue into the next topic I want to talk to you about. This was before I realized how important neutral density filters were. So I'm shooting
your shutter speed's cranked.
Yeah, I'm shooting at f16 shutter speed 1600. My ISO's at 50, and I'm sitting here why is it so bright? It's in the mid. It's 2:00 in July in the middle of the day. Oh, it was terrible. The video, Derek thankfully saved it because he's a whiz.
A guru.
He's an editing whiz. He saved it, but God, some of the shots I had were terrible. I was like, oh shit. And then I went back and I talked to a buddy of mine who also does video, and shout out Preston. And I was like, hey man, what the fuck? And he was like, you need a ND. Dog, and now everywhere now I have 10 of them. I'm I need these a lot. I don't even do much video outdoors anymore.
But
I never go anywhere without one. God. Oh man, you ever have any horror stories like that?
Yes. Anything in a church. First of all.
Yeah, the lighting in churches
it's bad.
is almost as worse
your
as a
ISO
gymnasium.
Is cranked up and you're just grain.
Yeah.
If you're doing weddings, video or photography, and you haven't invested in some sort of a noise reduction plugin,
right?
Why are you even bothering?
Or you have a 1DX Mark III,
right?
Or something.
Or any Sony,
right? Yeah, Sony A7 that hopefully doesn't explode or overheat. That's a shot at Sony.
The ISO up to 20,000.
Yeah, and you're it's fine, or a D6 or something crazy.
Your hands are on fire, but it is what it is.
And you have to get 9 batteries.
Yeah,
but
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Are you a Sony guy?
I'm a Canon
guy. Good for you. Did you get have you switched to mirrorless yet or no?
Not yet. So I invested in the 5D Mark IV.
Okay.
I was this is a good photography camera.
Sure, it's best of both worlds.
The 1DX could be, better.
I feel to be honest with you,
so much more money.
The 1DX,
much better.
The 1DX, in my opinion, is not, like you said, not much better than the 5D Mark IV. It's for people who have a credit card with a very high limit, and they know kind of about photography, and they just want a camera that can take 20 pictures in a second.
Yeah.
And they're like, I want this.
Because the pixel density isn't even that much more. I believe
it's not.
The 5D's at 24?
Oh, Jesus. I would have to look. I don't know.
I think the 1DX is at 30.
Yeah. So it's really not much. Yeah.
But they were looking at, I watched the video on the pixel quality.
Sure.
And they said the 5D had better. So I was like, well, I'm going to do that because, shoots 4K.
Right.
Full frame sensor.
Does it crop? Yeah.
It's got a 1.7.
That's why people were pissed when it came out. Because Canon put it out. Canon put it out. I remember when the camera was coming out, because I work at a camera store, so obviously it's my job to know that. And they when they put it out, they didn't say anything about the crop at first.
Yeah.
And then it came out, and it got into a few influencers' hands, like Jared Poland and Kai and all those people from Digital Rev and the people from DP Review. They all got it, and every single one of them was like, "Yeah, it does 4K full frame sensor, but there's a fucking 1.7 crop."
Yeah. On that music video, I was shooting on the 24. I was shooting 24, but I was shooting at 4K.
You sure?
So it was close to, it was basically a 40 to 50 millimeter. I'm shooting this on a gimbal, so I'm trying to be super smooth with the gimbal, which is you need micro jitters then it was already zoomed in, so I was
and their noses are gonna look all huge if you get too close to them.
God forbid I have to scale this in post.
That would suck, dude. I'm so
You want to talk about horror stories? That was a horror story.
Really?
Yeah.
It didn't seem. It was really well done, but you just
simplistic.
Walked in a circle.
But you gotta think. Okay, I'm holding a gimbal.
Sure.
With a camera, with a battery.
Yeah.
I have the battery extender.
You have
with a 24 to 70 lens.
Canon L lens.
Yeah. So
it's a heavy lens. That's
so
like
I'm
a
sitting there.
probably 10-pound of camera.
Yeah. So I'm walking around. I got my arm extended out. I'm trying to keep this thing steady.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. This was like a 4-minute video or something.
Sure,
And
yeah,
I'm
it's
trying
about
to
4
do
minutes.
this, and it's in a small room. It's cropped in, so I'm trying to like stay as wide as possible without tripping or bumping into walls or like getting too close to somebody.
Getting caught in a light cord.
And I have fog going. I have a fog machine going, so the focus is wanting to like.
Oh, sure.
So I'm trying to stay at the right focal distance, so I'm not like falling out of focus. And there's a couple spots where it falls a little bit fuzzy, like at the beginning on Tyler, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Right. Yeah, I didn't honestly notice.
But I had to do like, I don't know, I had him do like 10 or 15 takes. So
yeah.
that's like an hour and a half of me just walking.
Sure.
Like
I was going to ask you how long that took to make.
I don't sweat. Like, I have like a thyroid thing where I don't sweat. I was drenched.
Nice.
I was like, I'm dying.
What gimbal were you using?
The Ronin S.
Ronin S. Yo, again, there was a joke that we were doing in the last episode because Josh, who I had on the last episode, shout out Low Flip, he also knows Derek. They're good friends at Penna. And so every time we mentioned Derek's name, we would say, give me 10 push-ups, because he's a Marine now. But anyway, I just wanted to pull that up. Anyway, Derek, 10 push-ups. I'm bummed that he went to the Marine Corps. Not because I don't like the Marines. Yay, hoorah, you're saving our country. I like that.
Right.
But also, you had a Ronin S that I also like to use because we were roommates, and you fucking took it with you, asshole. So that's cool. He also took his fucking Mavic Pro with him. Epic. And I was a little upset when he left.
Well,
I was like, well, what am I going to use for gimbals now?
I was like, well, if you ever need,
Wow.
I have a Ronin S. and I have a Mavic Pro. So.
Tierner's like, well, I run this company called Moonlight. What is the whole thing? Moonlight Creatives.
Yes.
Excellent.
Multiple creatives.
Excellent.
More than one thing.
Multiple creatives, because they do everything. They'll do your taxes for you if you ask them nicely.
Maybe. Just mark it up and send it to TurboTax.
There you go. Mark it up 25%. There you go. It's done. God, going back to the unemployment thing, there are a lot of people who are a lot older than me, like my parents and grandparents, who are telling me that if we do get a second stimulus, because I told my dad, I was like, I'm thinking about buying another camera just for the 2-camera setup. You know what I'm saying? Because right now it's just a one static wide shot, and it kind of looks a little lame. But more people listen than watch, so that's okay. But I was gonna do the 2-camera thing, and he was like, you might want to save that stimulus and put it away because that $600 that you got is taxable.
Yeah.
So at the end of the year, you're probably going to owe the feds 20% of however much you accumulated over those 2 months. And I was like, shit.
When I signed up, there's an option that you could take to be like, you want us to take out these for taxes? And I was like, yes, do that.
Good
I
for
will
you.
spend this money.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what it was for, though. I hate those people who are like, you're getting paid more to stay home.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, a little bit, but like also, if I wasn't being paid at all, I wouldn't have anything.
Right. I get the point. Like, I get people being like, oh, the essential workers should be making that. I agree. 100%. They should be getting that as well.
100%.
All should be getting
that.
But don't get mad at me because I did.
Right.
Get it.
Don't get mad at me because the government told me I wasn't allowed to work. Like,
Right.
it's not my fucking fault.
Right.
That somebody ate an animal and now we're all sick. I don't know. Or Bill Gates made it in a lab. Whoever fucking made the goddamn shit. I don't know what's going on. It's going to get taken down for misinformation now.
No, geez.
I'm kidding.
Don't post it on Facebook.
Yeah. Fucking Facebook is a cesspool.
Dude,
I have an idea of a YouTube video I want to make where I want to take like a week and just curate the most awful content I can find on Facebook and just get me and like 5 other people get blasted and just make fun of it the whole time.
Dude, that sounds
That'd be so much fun. It'd be so much fun because Facebook sucks. Oh my God. Speaking of... Okay, I'm bouncing all around. But anyway, I wanted to ask you this question.
Yes.
Do you feel like, as a young person in this industry, there are a lot of people who think they're really good, but then when you start to talk to them about the specifics, shutter speed, aperture, ISO, whatever it may be, frame rate over shutter speed, that dilemma,
Right.
do you find that there are people who are in high-end positions in this industry who should not be there? Because I do a lot.
Here's the thing. There's not a whole lot of people I run into video-wise.
Sure, okay. I can see that.
So the people who are really prevalent in town, in Toledo, Madhouse,
Well,
which, fantastic.
of course, right.
Hanson, they're all right.
Yeah.
Hart, pretty damn good.
Hart's good. Hanson, I feel like their production's all right, but the little kids that they have in their ads make me want to jump down a flight of stairs. I'm sorry.
The thing with Hanson is their stuff is all streamlined. They've got that same thing we were talking about where it's a process. Like, it's just do the same thing. This works.
It's cookie cutter type shit. Yeah.
So Madhouse, always thinking outside the box. Hart's right behind them. Hanson, they're good.
Right.
But for the people I have come in contact with, like, in the same boat as me, typically they put their camera on auto.
Yeah.
Like, on some level. And I'm like, here's the thing.
Whether they're an aperture priority or shutter priority or whatever it may be.
You gotta, I don't know. I feel like the secret to, like, how I always keep my stuff improving is I never feel like I've got one thing mastered. Like, I'm good at my camera, yeah. But there's definitely more I can learn about.
100%.
Literally, this is probably entry level for a lot of people. Just last week, I was like, back button focus.
Really?
What?
Oh, dude. Okay, so I learned about back button focus a while ago, but that's because I'm a bird photographer. That's like the main thing I take photos of. I rarely take photos for profit at all. And if I do, it's like somebody I know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I work in the industry to an extent, and the extent is I sell the equipment.
Right.
So like I don't want to use my equipment that I know all about to like make more money from, because I just feel like then hobby and work starts to collide and my brain's going to explode. Exactly. So that's why I like shooting the birds every year. And one of my bosses is also a big bird photographer, and he showed me back button focus. And when I learned about back button focus, the back of my head blew out.
Dude, that's how I was like, this is a thing?
Yeah. I was like, this is so much better than anything else ever.
I was like, you know, doing like focusing.
Focus, recompose,
I was like, man.
Now I can put my camera on continuous focus and just hold my thumb down.
Right.
What?
Holy shit. So,
blew my head off.
So that's the thing. I'm always learning. Like, I invest in Skillshare every year. I get a yearly membership every single year, and I'm always looking at something.
Okay.
Like, trying to do something.
I've never tried Skillshare. I've seen Masterclass. I've thought about it. I've never tried Masterclass. But I feel like I've never actually met anyone who's used those before.
They're fantastic.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, there's like bad teachers on Skillshare, but like most of the time, there's really, really good information on there. And like I learned some, like that digital art I've been doing recently.
Yeah, the one with the, hold on, I got it up right here. The one with the semicircle, and the other one with the squares, and then the one with the lightning next to it.
Yeah. So that's stuff that I've like been cultivating. Just like that, like you said, you gotta have a separation. 3D art, that is my personal fun. That's what I do for fun. Like just like my fun became my job now. So you gotta like that's good, but there's gotta be a separation.
That's why I kind of stopped doing like weddings, and I did a couple senior photo shoots and stuff like that. And I was like, boy, there's a split here that I need to pick. I need to pick a lane right now, you know. And I'm happy I picked the lane that I did, because I don't know. Photography to me is like for example, Jasmine and I have been together almost 3 years, and I just started letting her come with me to take photos of the birds and stuff.
Yeah, she's
got a wicked eye. She uses binoculars. She'll spot shit that I didn't. Awesome. Yeah, it's kind of nice having somebody out there with me that can watch my back and stuff. Yeah. But before, she would ask me, and Derek would ask me, and my friends, and they would ask me if they could come, and I'd always be like, no.
Yeah.
This is my thing. Fuck off. I'm going to turn my phone off for a couple hours. I'm going to go walk a trail in the woods, and I'm just going to reset.
Dude, you gotta.
It's just a thing you got to do. But yeah, man, working at the store, I see, and this is no shot to anybody who comes into the store. I mean, they're wonderful people. I love all of them to death. But it's like, I feel like there's a disconnect between the art that is photography and cinematography or whatever, and the person with the American Express card with no limit who's like, I want to take really good photos of my kid playing soccer.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well, we have classes and da-da-da. She was like, no, I just want a camera that can take good pictures. I'm like, well...
You want a point and shoot?
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
Right, yeah, I give them like a P90 or some shit, or a P900.
So, like, get back to your original question, because I know we kind of went off there. Yeah, I do come across a lot of people who are like, oh, yeah, this is, you know...
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people, and most of the time, it's the people who come from nothing who are way more knowledgeable. Like I came from jack shit, man. Like literally, I just knew the right people at the right time.
Sure.
And like I always was like, I think back to me working in the moldy warehouse, and I'm like, dude, like I gotta keep improving, otherwise I don't want to become stagnant.
Sure.
And a lot of the people I come across who don't know shit about their camera or about cinematography or like, you know, golden spirals or rules of third. People who have rich parents who their parents just bought them these nice cameras and stuff, and it looks good.
It looks great.
Because that's what the cameras are for.
Right, it looks wonderful. But then when they try and do when they try and take a video or they're making a video of like a sporting event or something, like I just saw this, I was bitching to my roommate on, we were watching a YouTube video yesterday, and I could tell he was getting like upset that I kept bitching about it, but it was like a backyard like MMA match type shit, so it's fast paced action,
right?
And I could tell whoever was shooting it, they had a bunch of people with cameras and stuff, so I could see a bunch of people that looked like they were shooting on like T7Is, T8Is, and stuff like that, which is fine.
Right.
If you know how to use those cameras, they're fucking, like, they can do what you need them to do. But if you don't know how to use those cameras, it's very, very easy to spot it. Because it was so, I could tell that they were shooting video, and they were shooting at like probably 60 frames or 30 frames if they know how to change their frame rate, but their shutter speed was at like 2,000. So I could see the fucking jittering and the bar. Yeah, it was like hurting my head. Soap opera crisp. It was like hurting my eyes. I was like, I can't watch this because
the motion blur?
It was so bad.
Yeah,
oh my God, it was so bad. And I was like, this is terrible.
Dude, it's the little things. Like I worked with a photographer and he gets a lot of clients, but like he doesn't know that when you're taking portraits, you focus on the eyes.
Right.
So he has like these close-up portraits. Nose is in focus. He has this really shallow depth of
My
field,
thing is with people, because eyes. You focus on like whichever eye is forward.
And it's the little thing. I'm by no means. I want to clarify. I'm by no means like ripping on people or think that they should do what they're doing.
100%.
But learn your stuff. Yeah, invest in yourself.
I guarantee. And one of the people I work with says the problem with that is you do not need a license to do this.
Yeah.
You don't need any sort of like formal like I can't right now walk into ProMedica and do heart surgery.
Right.
Or I can't right now well, okay, that's a bad example. I was going to say I can't be a police officer, but I fucking could if I wanted to. Because it takes 9 days to become one of those guys. Then they give you a gun and they're like, yeah, go kill whoever.
Yeah, we won't get into that.
Yeah, that's a whole, trust me, Josh and I the other night, we went on for like 2 hours.
Oh, dude.
Oh, it was bad.
We'll break this into 2 separate podcasts. Yeah. We'll go into it.
But no, I mean, but you don't need a license to do this kind of thing, right? So you get the person that has a trust or whatever, and they have, I don't know, I mean, in retrospect, getting the necessary equipment to become like a wedding photographer or a sports journalist or something like that, in retrospect, it's not that much money. I mean, it's like a couple grand, 3, 4 maybe, if like you really want to go for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need a nice camera.
My initial investment when I started, $7,000.
Yeah,
that was for stuff where I was like, okay, I know this stuff. And I don't need it, but I want it.
Sure, like, that's about where I am. Yeah, that's about where I am. I'm over time investing. Because I said I'm moving and I'm going to build the studio. About 6 or 7 is about what I'm at, like planned out to invest in building the studio. So it's really not that much, you know, if you think about the grand scheme of things. You know?
Well, especially you break it down into like how much you can charge, assuming you're good at this stuff.
Right. Oh,
You can make that back in months.
You can make that back in one wedding if it's the right client.
Right. Honestly. Yeah. Dude, a great example of equipment isn't everything is a video that just came out by Parker Walbeck, full-time filmmaker.
Okay. This guy like famous or something? Or is he going to hear this and come to my house? I'm actually part of
this course.
Oh, wow.
He started this course called Full-Time Filmmaker, and I'll 100% shout it out because I learned a lot of shit there.
Full-time filmmaker, baby.
You learn a lot. Like, he teaches you everything from, like, the equipment down to the editing, down to the business, gives you templates, like, price, like... It's fantastic. And then he's got like it broken down into weddings, commercials, like everything that you need is there. Facebook group, you can talk to anybody. But he made this video just like last week. He gave an entry-level filmmaker a Red Weapon 8K camera.
Oh, so like we're talking $10,000 for the body only, maybe more.
50.
Yeah.
$50,000.
Jesus.
So with cinema lens, like
okay, sure.
And then gave somebody who's been doing this for like 7 years, I think, gave him the equivalent of like a T3i camera with a nifty 50.
Nice. Fantastic plastic is what we call that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And dude, it was incredible, like the difference there. He made like with this dinky camera, like,
I bet
made an incredible commercial for the boots actually that I own that I wore over here. but it was fantastic. Just like his knowledge into like editing and how to operate a camera and like color grading and how to like tell a story visually versus somebody who, you know, essentially just had
point and shoot
high end.
Yeah, it's a high-end point and shoot. It's what you have now.
Right. So
you don't know how to use it. Sure.
So that's a fantastic video to check out if anybody's interested. Just put in your time. It's
put
really
in
the only way to like get
to be fair. The analogy I like to use is when someone is looking to buy either upgrade or their first camera or whatever it may be. And they've done research because the internet exists. So they come in and they're like, hey, I have a Rebel XSI that came out in 2001. It was one of Canon's first digital cameras. And they come to me and they say, I want to upgrade my camera. And I say, all right, cool. Have you done any research on your own? Like, go through it. And they go, yeah, I watched a few videos, and I think I want to order the 5D Mark IV with the 8512. And I'm like, all right.
You don't need it.
I'm like, all right, let's back up a second here. And the analogy I always use is, okay, that would be like giving a 16-year-old a Ferrari.
Right.
Or that would be like giving someone who just got their temps and their first car they get for their 16th birthday, getting them like a Tesla X or some shit. It's like that. If you break it, if you crash it, you don't really care. If you have if you go from an XS to like a T7,
right? That's
10-year camera that has evolved. That's going to be a night and day difference.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know how to use it, it's going to be a night and day difference.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't get the 16-year-old a Ferrari. You get them a Honda Civic that costs you $5,000.
Right.
Because when they inevitably crash it, right?
Yeah.
I crashed my mom's car I
crashed my Honda Civic.
Right. I crashed my mom's minivan when I was driving that around.
Right.
When they inevitably crash it, you don't want to beat them to death.
Right.
Because they didn't just waste your life savings. That's the analogy I use, and every single time I use that analogy, they get it right away. But then there are some people who are like, no, I want this, and here's my American Express card. And then I'm like, okay, I order it for them. They leave.
My quota for the month.
Right. I order it for them. They leave. They come back in 2 weeks. I don't know how to use this. I want to return it. And I'm like, I knew this was going to happen.
When you're like, we actually offer courses.
Every time. Every time. I'm like, we teach classes here. I tried to say that in the beginning, but you were like, no, here, I want a good camera. Give me, here, pay, here. That was a credit card. Whatever. All right. I want to talk about the video with you and Tyler and Ben. We kind of already talked about that. I really just want to talk about, to be honest with you, I just want to know how Tyler's doing. I don't even care if this is on air or not. I just am genuinely curious about my friend Tyler that I haven't talked to in 6 years.
So, Tyler...
I know he moved or some shit. Was doing music or something.
He just travels a lot. He'll just get up and go.
Okay.
That's his thing.
He was just a guy.
I don't know, before all this happened, he just got up, drove to Chicago, stayed in, you know what a hostel is?
It sounds scary.
It's basically just a room full of bunks.
And you
just go stay. There's other people who are staying. It's super cheap. I think he went there for $20 for 3 days or some shit. And you just go, there's bunks, you get a bunk, you sleep, and then you can just travel around. There's other people there sometimes. It's kind of like a college dorm situation, except just strangers every day.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I wouldn't do it either, but
I don't know how I feel about that at all.
Just went to Chicago, or he'll drive to Ann Arbor, or just go to California, Florida, he just does his thing. But yeah, he focuses a lot into music now. He's been taking vocal lessons for 5 years, I think.
Okay, to be honest, I'm going to say this because I like Tyler, and I'm saying this as a friend. When he first started, I was like, what are you doing? What's going on here? And then I watched that video with him and Ben, and I was like, that's not the same guy. That's not the same voice at all.
100%.
That's not the same guy.
I was like, dude, I don't want to knock your dream. I get it. But then I was like, damn, I should take vocal lessons.
Yeah, I was like, shit.
If this is something.
God damn, who are you taking vocal lessons from?
He's by no means a Charlie Puth or but
right.
The dude can sing now.
Yeah, he can.
I was like,
where did this come from?
It's not even none of that's even stepped or anything. None of it's edited. The vocals aren't.
It's mastered very well, but it's.
But he didn't use. There's a software that can basically evaluate the notes of any given waveform.
That's terrifying.
It's like manual auto tune that actually sounds good, and he requested that Justin not use that to fix any flats or sharps. So that's just Tyler singing. So I was like, damn. So
excellent.
So he's doing well. He makes a lot of lo-fi stuff. He's got a SoundCloud, I think.
Okay, I'll have to look at it. I'll have to look at that.
On one of his Instagram pages is Tyler Ritter Official, I think, has it linked.
Yeah, I follow him on. I have 2 accounts, so I follow him on one of them.
He's got Tyler Tinkle, Tyler Ritter Official, and Tyler Travels Places, which is his travel place.
Oh, I didn't know about the third one.
He wants to make a business out of traveling.
That's hard, but good luck.
But what he wants to do, because I told him, I was like, dude, invest in a little bit of video. And just be like, hey, if you let me stay here, I'll make you a video of your hotel, your Airbnb or whatever, and just, just call it Flush. And just do that.
Become a guy.
Right. So, I think right now he's looking into investing in a travel van because he just wants to
I know a guy who I want to get in here to talk to. He used to be a teacher. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try. I think he's still in Toledo. Hopefully he hasn't left yet. But he used to be a teacher, quit, bought a van, renovated it, lives in it now, and he's just going to be a nomad.
That's what he wants to do. That's Tyler wants to be a nomad, 100%.
I'm like, okay, that's awesome.
Right.
And that would be really fun. But, like, how do you, I don't know, eat food, maybe? Or, like,
shower. But
well,
just think,
shower.
Figure that out. You got a Planet Fitness membership. You can just go shower at any Planet Fitness across the freaking
okay,
U.S.
Right. But, like, I don't want to knock anybody doing this because it's a really awesome idea, and I think it would be a great learning experience to travel the country.
The minimalistic style.
Right, but who's paying for that? What happens there?
Exactly. That's
you don't know?
You gotta make some sort of money doing
Yeah,
this.
it doesn't make sense.
I mean,
I guess you could, like, if he's damn good at singing now, he could fucking play a bar or two,
right.
you know?
And he has yet to do that. Like, he has yet to go out. I'm like, dude, you are good enough to go out and start gigging. Like,
yeah.
You could go out, do an open stage, start, like, working with bars and stuff, and, like...
Get to know the bar scene and everything else and get involved.
He's like, no, I just I'm not ready. I'm like, what?
I feel like...
for me to make a professional video out of you and have, like, our friend mix and master it, who, like, spent, like, 4 years of his life going to college, is in serious debt, but you don't want to, like, go out to a bunch of drunk people and serenade them? Like,
right,
what?
dude.
What
You
pressure
telling
is
me
that?
you would not get so many females or males. I don't care who you're with. It doesn't matter to me. Do whoever you want. It's 2020 now. Hell yeah, dude. Fuck it. But, like, if you could have this buttery voice, you're getting touched, tickled, and wiggled in all sort of different areas, no matter what happens.
Dude, I've gone out and performed. I'm sure you've seen the stuff that I've performed. Like,
You just play guitar, right?
I did drag.
Okay. All right, look, I didn't want to bring it up because I noticed that you deleted that account.
There's just drama with that stuff.
Oh, really? I could sense that a lot.
Yeah, but I have no shame about the fact that I did that at all.
Well, I figured you didn't. I didn't want to bring it up because I saw the account was deleted, but now that you've put it out there...
Yeah, I did drag. If I can spend, like, 4 hours doing makeup to make myself look like a woman and then go out and shake my ass in front of a bar full of drunk gay people, like, you can go out fully clothed and, like, you know, play some
How is that world?
It's really, like, catty.
Really?
Like, honestly, like, it's fun. Like,
it looks fun.
People really sexualize it, but, like, really, it's just painful, and you're wearing a lot of clothes, like, all the time. Like, even those ones where it looks like I'm not wearing clothes, I had on, like, 4 pairs of, like, tights.
Oh, yeah, you gotta suck it all in, even though you weigh $150 soaking wet.
Right, yeah. We have to have, like, hip pads and stuff, so you gotta, like, smash it down to, like, make it look like your legs are... It's a situation and a half, man.
Jesus.
But, yeah, no, I mean, the people... They're not that great. I'll be honest. It wasn't for me. Like, they like each other in the way that they always talk shit about everybody.
So it's like
high school.
I was just gonna say that.
It's kind of like
high the school. Popular kids at high school.
Everybody's just mean to each other.
Yikes!
Like always.
I feel like in that business,
I'm too nice
it's
for
so. Yeah, it was really, like, strange when I saw you were doing that. Not strange and like I didn't approve, but strange. I was like, he doesn't strike me.
Yeah.
Is that? It doesn't. Okay, I mean, whatever. I haven't talked to you in a while. It's fine if that's what you want to do. Fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah,
but like
at the time, I was dating a guy, so like I was like out there like doing my thing, and I was like, all right, it is what it is.
You're just gonna do this.
I suppressed all these thoughts and stuff about myself for so long that I guess we're just doing it loud.
Hey, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah.
All right, interesting.
But just to clarify, dating a dude, not for me.
I was gonna ask that too because I saw your Instagram little they-them situation, which I've called you he now like 4 times, and I'm sorry, but I can't fucking flip that switch.
Like,
honestly,
it's cool. Like, and it's like a new thing for me too. So I like don't correct people, even though people are like, you should correct me because like I won't know otherwise.
That's kind of I was like nervous.
It's like nervous.
I was nervous with you.
Like, hey.
I was nervous with you coming in here. I was like, I know I'm gonna call him. I know I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I just did it right there. I was like, I know I'm gonna do it. I know I'm gonna do it. And I didn't want it to get weird. Thankfully, it's not weird.
No,
I knew you weren't gonna be weird about it.
People are
I've
like
known you long enough.
Aggressively just being like, I will never acknowledge this about you. I'm like, that's a little disrespectful. But
yeah, come on.
You know, you do you. I'm probably just not gonna hang out with you anymore.
Right. Well, I mean, I feel like the people who like are like that, who are like, I'm never gonna do it. They're like either old,
right,
or religious. And
that's the thing.
And when you get an old religious person, forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah, it's just game over.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
And like the thing was, I didn't really tell a whole lot of people about that. Like that's been a thing for me for like I don't know, like a year now. But like with the state of the world right now, it's like the change isn't going to happen in the world unless like the people like me who are afraid to like actually like make a point of saying this, make a point of saying this. And I was like worried about like my job. I was like, people are gonna want to hire somebody who's like part of the LGBT community. Is that going to affect like my income? And I was like, if I want the whole thing for me was like, if I want the world to be better for my daughter,
right?
If she turns out to be LGBTQ or
what
you know,
have
trans
you.
or any one of these things, it's my duty as somebody who's part of this to start to normalize that for the world.
Sure.
And so, like, if I gotta make less money, I gotta get a different job or something because of that, so be it. But I'm trying to normalize this so that it's just not a big deal. Who cares?
Honestly,
that's always been my thought. I was like, people are all like,
Yeah.
I was a man as a kid, now I'm a woman, and I always felt like I was a woman, and now that's the thing. I'm like, dope, cool. Like,
yeah, if that's what
I'm
you, if
happy
that's
you're, like, cool.
that's what helps you get out of bed in the morning, then
Right.
what? Fine.
So I'm like,
It does not bother me at all.
I don't care. I mean, I care. I'm like, yeah, congrats. That's an awesome thing for you to realize and
Sure.
like, be happy with yourself. But like,
Yeah.
why does that matter? Like, if I want to like hire you to do something or something. So
It's the same thing with tattoos in a way.
That's why I
like
have
very
tattoos as well.
extreme, different there, but like, yeah. That's, well, okay. If you have like the one dude who got his face permanently tattooed to look like a clown, you're probably not going to get a job anywhere.
Yeah, people don't think you're a clown.
Which is fine, in my opinion, because I don't want to walk into Trader Joe's or
Right.
Whole Foods
Right.
and see that guy working there.
Right. But if he wants to work at a circus, it's kind of.
Or if he wants to get a TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't give a shit.
But yeah. So I don't know how we got off onto that tangent, but yeah. that's
know
the
either.
thing. Oh yeah, I was doing drag. So yeah, that was a thing. The people suck, in my opinion. I like the art. I wish I could do it more, but the people ain't shit.
People ain't shit. You heard it here first. The people
And if
ain't
anybody
shit.
who is part of that community is listening, just be nice. God damn.
Just
like
be
the
nice.
whole world.
But how are they
for,
mean?
Like they're
Like
just,
not accepting of a new member?
Yeah, not accepting of a new member. They'll just like talk mad shit about you, like tear apart like your style of drag or like anything of like that, like just like anything that you could think of. You could literally like look at somebody and be like, "Do you see how they fucking looked at me?" And I'm just like, Jesus.
Yeah, whoa,
God.
dude. Relax.
Can we just chill? And like I would like talk to people about this. I'm like, we're all here for the same reason.
See,
why do we care?
as an outsider, I've been to 2 drag shows in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And as an outsider, it looked to me like it was like a family sort of close-knit, because it's a very taboo thing. I mean, that's
Right.
not controversial to say. It's a very taboo
Right.
thing, and that's fine. If you like that, then whatever. But because of that, I feel like that community would be very tight.
And that's what I thought when I was like, oh, great, I'm going to go into this. People are going to like, I'm going to be able to talk about the things I never got to talk to people about.
Sure.
That I don't even understand about myself. People are going to be able to help me. Nope, not at all. I try talking to people, they're just like, okay, just go do your thing.
Yikes. Well, I feel like that's such like a cutthroat
Yeah, it's really,
live
it's
live
really toxic.
performance in general, like drag or like Broadway style, or like I hear Saturday Night Live, like trying to get onto that show is impossible because it's the same toxic environment, because everybody wants to be like, everybody wants to get their sketch on, or everybody wants to like get like the 8:00 Saturday primetime spot at the bar to like dance or whatever. So I feel like it's just so cutthroat, and because it's so taboo, it's not really like solidified that it's going to be a thing forever, you know?
Yeah, it's tough, man. Because I'm just like, my thing was like, dude, literally any one of us from the walk to our car into the bar could get jumped and or murdered for like doing this.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So somebody could be like out here, because there's like straight bars and like other like people are out here drunk.
Sure.
And it's Toledo, so people really aren't that accepting here.
Yeah, no. I mean,
good neighborhoods.
This area, like the Old West End is
The Old West End is
extremely,
fantastic. Like Black Kite has like gender neutral bathrooms.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't care. But like downtown by like the Mud Hen Stadium where I was performing, I was like any one of us could literally just like disappear
out of spite because
like,
someone
just
literally
like,
does not look like how you are dressed,
right,
or
and
your haircut
so
or whatever.
I'm like, why are we being mean to each other in a safe space? I don't know.
That's so you got
why
out, man.
I miss doing it. I like the
epic.
art of it, but yeah, I was just like, these people are and my ex was like, is the son of the owner of Hamburger Mary's, which is the only place that does open stages these days. And I'm just I just can't even.
That's
I
kind of
touch on that.
That's tough, man. That's like my daddy owns the Sandbox,
right?
So you can't have your toys here,
right?
Idiot. I hate people like that, man.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I miss it, but it is what it is.
Here's what I got.
All right.
We're almost through here. We're 52 in. We're
right.
at an hour goes by so fast.
It does.
All right, I want to show you 2 images.
Oh no.
The first one isn't anything. The first one's just fucking really cool, and I just want you to explain the backstory. That one I can pull up on my phone. If you're watching on YouTube, well, actually no, because it's an image. God damn it, I was gonna make this one. All right, fuck it, whatever. If you're watching on the internet, eat a dick. I don't know what to tell you. My phone's about to die. The camera's about to turn off.
Just Spotify.
Yeah, just listen, okay? No, I'm going to have this part on. Hopefully my camera didn't turn off yet. Hold on. Stand by. Dead air. Okay, no, we're still good. All right. I'm going to pull it up on here, and I'll just turn the screen around. All right, so there's 2 images I want to show you. The first one is on your Instagram account.
Okay.
And
my personal or my business?
The personal, Tiernen Bruce.
Yeah, the personal.
Yeah, and I got to scroll for a minute to find it here because it was... Oh, I found it. Shit. All right. I want to know who I have to talk to be able to get that picture going.
Okay, Jennifer Eileen Photography.
Yeah. You got to take legit model-type photos with a real-ass wolf.
With a real-ass wolf. Yes, 100%. She has all kinds of animals.
Explain that.
Foxes.
Because when I saw that picture, when it first came up, I was like,
what?
Hold on. That is a wild wolf.
You have no idea.
Tiernen's just hugging it.
How many DMs I got like, you own a wolf? I'm like, no.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Is that legal?
Yeah, I didn't think that at all. I was like, who does Tiernen know?
But she's in Ohio. I believe she does like southern Michigan. She'll even do stuff in Toledo.
Really?
She like works with like the Toledo Zoo and Iron Wolves Sanctuary.
I've heard of that.
And other like sanctuaries. She doesn't just do wolves. She does like foxes.
That'd be
owls. And, hawks and shit, like all kinds of
taking images with foxes would be sweet.
Yeah, and so I just did a mini session with her, costing like $300.
Well,
I was like, worth it. Drove to Columbus because like the Toledo ones were sold out, and I was like, I freaking love wolves.
He's got a damn tattoo. Yeah, the picture is showing the tattoo of the wolf.
So drove there. She's deaf. A deaf photographer.
A deaf photographer who takes pictures of people with wolves.
Yeah, so it was fantastic.
That's a sitcom.
And she had no problem directing me. Like, I understood everything she was trying to say to me.
Really?
Like she was just so good. And I know no ASL at all. Like, I do not speak language.
No.
So I was like, the fact that she could direct me without having to worry about that, fantastic photographer.
You know, tangent, ASL is now counted as a foreign language in high school?
Yeah, I wish I had learned it instead of Spanish that I remember nothing of.
Oh, I dropped Spanish after
I took like 4 years of Spanish, and I don't remember anything.
I took like a semester of it, and I got a D-. And the teacher was like, this is Spanish 1, and you got a D- first semester. What are we doing here? And I'm like, I already signed the papers to drop this class. She was like, all right, that's probably good.
She was like, good. But we have an understanding.
Pretty much. I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to do this. It was fucked.
Yeah,
all right.
Jennifer Eileen Photography. For all of your wild animal photography needs, she does come to Toledo.
That is so dope. The wolf was like licking your face and stuff. No, that's epic.
It had a chain on it too. Like it was by no means just like out. Like somebody was like, she just edited that out. I'm assuming with like just like the healing brush.
Yes.
Or,
sure.
Frequency separation or whatever.
Wow. All right. I'll call you when I'm done. But, relax.
Fantastic. She was really, really great to work with.
That's really, really cool. I was wondering that story. All right. You ready for this one?
I sure am. I don't know.
This is out of the archives.
Oh, man,
all right, so this is still to this day on your Instagram account.
Oh, sweet.
All right, but you have to scroll for a while,
a hot minute,
to find it. Okay, for everyone listening, this is a picture. For everyone who doesn't know, Tiernen and I went to the same video production school, and in that video production school, we had competitions that we got to go to and stuff like that. And one of them was in Columbus.
Yes.
And in Columbus, we got a hotel room to share. So it was me and my partner.
The photo you're talking about.
It was me and my partner and Tiernen and Tyler, who we've talked about, who was his partner for the video stuff. And we took this photo in the mirror. For people who can't see, it's all of us in a mirror. Tiernen is close to licking my face. Yes. Tyler's making a goofy face, taking the photo. Frank's bent over on the sink, and my leg is over Frank's head.
Yes.
And we're all making goofball
It's very
faces.
good. That's a fantastic photo. The thing about that photo is I recently did a social media purge where I went through and I was like, I need to delete these photos, I saw that, I was like, I got to keep that.
Really? That's awesome.
That is gold.
That's awesome.
That's like a staple.
That is a staple, bro. That was the
year when we made that one where Tyler beat the shit out of you in the elevator, right? That was the video.
Yeah.
We were both like, the fuck did we make for this prompt? So you guys just made us beating each other up.
Yeah. And then the next year, I remember my senior year, we went back to Skills and the prompts got switched. So Frank and I were supposed to do the creative one or whatever, like make like an actual narrative type. And then Derek and you remember Caleb?
I do remember Caleb.
So Derek and Caleb were the other one, and they had to do like some sort of like business related. That's what we went for. But the prompts got switched. So Derek and Caleb got to do the creative one, and Frank and I had to make some sort of like informational Skills USA type video. And Frank and I aren't that. What? We were walking around like we don't know what the fuck's going on here.
Just turning nothing.
Yeah, no, it was bad. Like I was not. I mean, we were like proud of what we did because we threw it together in 6 hours because that competition is insane.
Yeah, they have really unrealistic expectations in my opinion.
Yeah, but very unrealistic expectations. But Derek and Caleb ended up getting third place, and it was a whole deal, and they got a medal, and I was kind of fucking mad.
You're right, that was my prompt.
I was like, God damn it, dude, I really wanted to do that.
That could have been me.
Yeah, I was like, that was our prompt. No, but that was a great time, man. That was a great time.
Those were fun.
Those were really fun.
We should get the guys back together sometime.
Well, Derek lives in California now, so 10 push-ups. 20 push-ups, actually. Dude, I'm sure that would be awesome. Me, Frank, you, and Tyler get back together and just go kick it for a night or something.
Dude, you should have Tyler on the podcast.
I definitely will. If he wants to hang out, I 100% would. I want to talk to him about his travels and his nomadry.
Tyler's the type of dude who'll play it down. He'll be like, I really don't do that much. Like, I still live at home with my mom.
But you were in Chicago this week, California the next, and living in hostels and shit.
It's fine.
That's awesome. All right, buddy. If you don't have anything else, plug everything that you can plug at the moment. We're about an hour in.
So Instagram at Moonlight Creatives, moonlightcreatives.com. I also have a Twitter, but I don't use that very much. Facebook at Moonlight Creatives. And just follow my personal Instagram at Tiernen Bruce. And drag queens be nice to each other.
Drag queens be nice to each other.
And young filmmakers out there, check out the road competition that's going on right now that actually has good requirements because it's not due until October.
Excellent.
They're giving $1 million worth of prizes away. And like $20,000 cash.
The road mics?
Yeah, road mics. Yep. And they have like 5 different categories.
I did not know that. I'll have to look into that. Okay, road competition. Moonlight Creatives on Instagram, Facebook, moonlightcreatives.com. Tiernen Rice, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it, buddy. Thanks. See you guys.